how far do you go with AI in the creation of ads? Right. So this is a hot debate, I think, particularly here in Cannes. It's like, will AI just make ads in the future, and we, replaces people? And I think at least in the near term, what I'm hearing is there's a place for it, but the authenticity of ads, that human connection, still needs to be there, and AI cannot do that.
So, Amy, welcome. Tell us what's new at MarketCast.
Lots happening at MarketCast. We are on the foray with AI in all that we do, a lot in ad effectiveness, a lot in market measurement, and really trying to catch up with the constant rapid change in the marketplace. So really focus on working with our clients to continue to drive predictive insights, driving outcomes, but how do we get them decisions faster and insights faster in their hands so they can make decisions more real time. That's been driving our transformation, and that's where AI has sort of been in the heart in helping to drive that.
So I feel the market research industry is at a very interesting stage, and AI is right at the core of the disruption, I guess, and the transformation.
Right.
Give us a few examples. How is AI going to change the way the market research works and functions? And particularly, how is it going to accelerate what you can do for your clients?
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think it's already changing, right? Being here at Cannes and listening to a number of the conversations, it's also become a bit of a joke, tongue-in-cheek, of like, oh, got to talk about AI. But it is here, right? And it's here to stay. And the way that it's been showing up in research, I can say particularly at MarketCast, is very much a focus on how do we drive speed to insights, how do we scale? So think speed, scale, but importantly not replacing the human piece of it. So for example, in our concept copy testing, we train large language models to be able to accurately predict off of real human data the outcomes of ads before they go to market. We're using it in our in-market measurement with brand effect. Our researchers are actually training the AI to write more prescriptive questions. We're also using it in our in-market product placement program measurement as well. So it's getting more insights, more granular insights, faster, so that we're getting data into the hands of our clients to be able to make real-time, like literally same-day decisions. So
wow.
It's been a big enabler, and I think the important piece I keep harping on with our team and in the clients is that it's not replacing the human insight. It's making us faster, it's making us smarter, leaner in some places, but the human is still in there, and bringing the human touch to how do we optimize, how do we go to market, how do I grow my brand at the end of the day, which AI alone doesn't do.
What I find really fascinating about that, you're not talking about a kind of single centralized tech stack which is becoming AI powered. You just described AI being distributed across end-to-end, all of your operations. Has that been complex operationally to deliver?
When we sat down maybe 2 years ago to really start thinking about how does AI show up, we need to harness it, we need it to help us be smarter. We first looked at it as, let's just put it everywhere and the boil the ocean approach, which then nothing's really going to get done. It's going to take too long. So we took a modular approach. So it was looking at each end of the research process, touch points to the client, and where do we see opportunity to drive speed? Where do we see opportunity to get granular insights that don't exist in the market today? And we're very surgical about where we place it in. And after each module, it began then to thread end to end for us. And I think, for us, that was a successful approach.
And just to unpack it a bit, what do you mean by a more granular insight?
Yeah. So for example, for our in-market ad measurement, there's a service that we have called IPP, so we're able to identify the different products in program placements. Right. And with AI, we can identify every single product that's in program, or think about a sponsorship event, at a PGA event, and there's multiple sponsors, multiple places where the logos are showing up. We can identify every single one of them and then take that back in and measure the effectiveness of the in-product placement. So that's a place where it's more granular. It's also more complete and more holistic. So as you think about advertising today and for the near term, long term, the success of an ad is measured on its outcomes. And so being able to find every single touch point and then measure the return on not just the eyeballs, but the resonance of the ad and bring that back to the marketing team really helps them drive optimization and report back up to the CMO. Here's the ROI, here's how our ads and placements are working.
So we're going to see some kind of AI-driven transformation of market mix models, media mix models.
100%.
Can you give us a sense of what that's going to enable? So how will clients use those faster modeling capabilities to optimize their budgets, their investment plans, their marketing strategies?
Yeah, I think where it goes is if you think about most MMM models, it's rearview mirror. And depending on who you're working with, it takes a couple weeks, it takes a couple months. But at that point, oftentimes the marketing team has moved on. We've had to make a decision and you've kind of made it without the model. And then the model is just for learning going forward. What AI enables us to do is a couple things. One, it gives you more granular insights to feed into the model. So smarter, greater optimization, more attribution to each of the touch points that's driving the lift or the ROI. It also starts to enable real-time, meaning same-day marketing mix. And that's what I think the industry needs, and that's where, the secret sauce at the end of the day is AI.
It's more effective, responsive allocation of budget.
So if you're the head of marketing, and you're sitting at your desk, and you're trying to decide how am I going to optimize, and you have a marketing mix, media mix model that's going to tell you same day, the attribution and the contribution, you're making a decision the same day, and you're able to get ahead of your competition, or maybe you're just being smarter with the dollars that you're spending. So I think that's at least the near-term future of where AI can go in those models.
So the market research industry has been in the press a bit lately. There have been some concerns about bots and fraudulent responses. Does the industry need to do more to give clients confidence that we're unlocking the benefits of AI, but also dealing with some of those abuses or edge cases where there may be problems in the veracity?
Data quality, right?
Data quality issues.
Yeah, so that's another place we're using AI is actually it's built throughout our operations to identify the fraudulent consumers, respondents, the bots, and so it's actually driving real-time clean data as the data comes into our lake. Before it gets processed, it's kicking it out if it's deemed to be fraudulent. And that's important. So if you think about using AI and the data coming out for the models that we just spoke about, the quality of the data dictates the outcome from those models. And so the quality of the data and the structure of that data need to be paramount. Otherwise, you're going to have false insights coming out, which then can kill an entire ad strategy at the end of the day. So it's super important.
So I guess the obvious question is, are clients ready for the kind of speed and agility that these innovations enable? Often clients are not yet ready. They have quarterly decision-making cycles or even slower. They are having to change their operations to move at AI speed.
100%.
Do you see clients having to go through a transformation to take advantage of these capabilities?
Yes. 100%. I think there's at least two high-level stages, right? So one is the immediate, can I get insights and data immediately to make a decision? And that's where I think most of us are playing in today, which is, instead of it taking a week to deliver to you, I can get it to you same day or 24 hours. But it's largely in the same format as well. As we speed up, the second camp is it's different types of data. So it's not just the speed, but it's different types of data, more data points. And it's not about having more data so it's more complex, it's about making smarter decisions at the end of the day. Then the advertisers particularly have to think about how do we operationalize differently? How do we pipe it in? What does our lake look like? How are we using it? And I was talking to a couple advertisers earlier, and this was the exact conversation they were having, that around their board table is how do our operations look differently? One person said it's a 3-year journey. We need to start building different pipes. Wow. Another said, we're trying to do it within 2 years. And whether it's 2, 3, but I think that was an accurate picture of there's a transformation that needs to happen. How do we operate differently with more data, better data to be smarter and pipe it through their own enterprise?
So you guys are members of CIMM.
Yes.
And CIMM is a great believer that collaboration is the key to unlocking meaningful change and improvements in the industry.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are there opportunities for collaboration that you'd like to see the industry embracing to deliver improvements in this fast-moving, AI-powered, big data world we're heading into?
Yeah. I think there's a couple. I think one that you hit on is quality. And so what are the best practices? If you think about CIMM and the best practices that CIMM will report out is, what is the best practice to really harness AI to ensure the best quality data on behalf of our our clients. And it's something that all of us should get around, and it should be table stakes at the end of the day. Like it is before AI, but there's new table stakes. And so what does that look like? So I think that's one area as an industry we can partner around as well. I think another area is having a strong position on how far do you go with AI in the creation of ads? Right. So this is a hot debate, I think, particularly here in Cannes. It's like, will AI just make ads in the future, and we, replaces people? And I think at least in the near term, what I'm hearing is there's a place for it, but the authenticity of ads, that human connection, still needs to be there, and AI cannot do that. And there is higher up in the marketing food chain pressure to drive the cost, let's just use AI. And I think it's an opportunity to talk about how do we use it in a way that still drives the best ad effectiveness at the end of the day, which is that human touch authenticity that AI can't bring today.
I have a sense, I couldn't agree more, and I love both those ideas. I have a feeling that we need to unbundle the concept of creative.
Yeah.
Creative covers lots of different types of asset.
Right.
So a Super Bowl ad is a world away from 25 executions of a local performance-based ad that's being done at very low budget.
Yeah, or DoorDash does 6-second ads.
Or 6-second ads.
The extreme.
These things are not the same. And I agree with you, AI is not going to work in the Super Bowl yet.
Yes, right.
Give it time, but at the bottom end of the market, sure, it allows lots of smaller advertisers into the marketplace who maybe couldn't afford high-cost creative, but now the market can be opened up to them.
That's right. I think that's right. I think there's a place for it, and where the risk is low, AI could probably play an immediate space. Where the risk is higher, investment is higher, and not just the investment, but also the audience risk, where you really have to get the right target. You really have to ensure you're driving a predictive outcome that's going to get that conversion to sale. You really want to make sure that you're getting it right. The risk is high to your consumer base, the risk is high to your investment base, and I think that's where the human piece is still ultra critical in that process.
Amy Fenton, thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome, John. It's so good to see you.
And you.
Thank you.